All right, man.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, we're back, man. We're gonna talk some Franco Nero, man. It's 2 weeks in a row. We're doing some Nero.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. These are completely different. I know we say this every week.
Yeah,
Every single one of these films is like, I think at least one of these films will appeal to anyone who watches this. I think, hopefully all three, but we'll see how it goes with that.
yeah, man. I mean, I know, I know the first one we're gonna talk about is a Gothic. It's in this set here, the Third Eye. It's in that Gothic Fantastico set from Arrow, the Third Eye. We'll be covering that one, but from 1966. But I dig it, man. I dig a lot of the classic cinema though of the in the Gothic.
We'll come into that because
Yeah.
I kind of compare it to the remake Beyond the Darkness, and
Yeah, it's definitely just like, I mean, beyond, because I know about Buried Alive. When I first saw the film, I saw it as Buried Alive, but most people know it as Beyond the Darkness. And but yeah, it's definitely, you can tell, man. Like just that fact alone, you see things in the film. You also see some Hitchcock shit going on in the film too.
very heavily influenced by Psycho.
Yeah.
That's unmistakably, I'd say.
Yeah. But before we get into it, man, we got some people in the chat, man. And if y'all, first time you seeing this, if y'all would click the like button, man. Consider subscribing if you like Italian cult cinema. That's the kind of shit we're covering on here. So
yeah, absolutely.
But we got some people in the chat. We got James Van Dusen. Good evening, everyone. What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
I got my beautiful wife in here. Welcome, everyone, and like and comment. Fun stream. Appreciate you.
Hey, what's up, Tash?
And we got Texas in here.
Tex in the house.
Let's see. Fat Pig the Conqueror. Oh, nice. Didn't miss anything. Had to run to the stupid vape store.
Oh, no, we were fashionably late again, so
yeah.
It's okay. It's all good.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Justin Marino. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Always good to see everybody returning,
Yeah.
Texas says, welcome to the panel of pain, the president of the Peter Bart fan club.
I was going to put that as under my heading on you. I have to do that one. Instead of Cute Boy, I'll put president of the Peter Bart fan club.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Justin Marino says, do you like this cold weather? Oh, he's talking to Tex. Okay. Well, it's getting colder than a well digger's ass in the middle of Montana here too. So,
man, it's so fucking cold here as well. It's in the negative degrees. It's not good.
Right. Well, man, I guess we'll get into it. Shit, man. Did you have anything you want to mention on Franco Nero? Before we get started, because this is a Franco Nero stream.
Yeah, well, pretty much like what I said last week, really.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like mainly if you want to go back and watch last week's stream, I mentioned a big sort of paragraph about him. I didn't really want to repeat myself too much.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
we'll get it. We're going to talk about some Nero going through the films anyway. I just didn't know. But
I mean, I've got the other like actress and whatever covered.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Well, man, before we get into it, I guess I'm gonna play a clip like I've been doing. I'm gonna play the clip first. Y'all let me know, man, if these clips are too long. Let me know if the intro's too long. I'll adjust that shit. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to do them, but if the shit's too long, man, I can shorten the stuff. I just kind of want to get some feedback from everybody.
Any constructive criticism we take on board, man. Big time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But here goes the first clip for the Third Eye, 1966, man.
Hello, Mino. What is it?
Nothing.
Well, you look angry.
I've been waiting for you for more than an hour. Why are you so late?
I'm sorry, but I was in the meadow. I wanted to pick some flowers for your mother.
And you had to take all this time? You should be getting ready to leave. What on earth were you doing gathering flowers for my mother? You're impossible.
But surely you must be joking. Sometimes you...
Well, flowers are a poor excuse for being so late.
I think there are a few things we should clear up before we get married. Or at least explain. Why is it your mother's always so hostile towards me? Please, this is serious. And that servant so insolent.
You mustn't lie to your mother. You never used to do it. We have our Our special love, you and I. But now that woman's come between us.
I've got a peculiar feeling, almost as though this was the first time.
Why don't you take those off?
Would you like to?
Laura.
Looking for kicks?
Hey, good looking. You want me?
Murdered. I did it again.
Damn. I don't know, man.
Django himself.
Yeah, man. This is a very young Nero shit. I think this is his 5th film, right?
Something like that, yeah. I think this wasn't it a couple of months after Django was released? So I'm not sure, but was it this one?
I'm not sure on that, man, to be honest. The same year as Django, though.
Yeah. I know he was quite a famous, actor even at this point, even at this stage of his career. But with this one, it's you can see a massive Hitchcock influence throughout.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to quickly go through, the director and some of the music and cinematography and that.
Yeah, I can go ahead and just read out a synopsis I got.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, y'all. Mino has an odd relationship with his very controlling mother and is super possessive of his bride-to-be, Laura. But mother and the house servant, Marta, doesn't want this marriage to happen. Marta wants Count Mino for herself, but he has no interest in her, so she fixes the brakes to Laura's car and kills his mother. The deaths are too much, and his mind snaps into madness. His taxidermy skill comes into play as he brings his dead fiance back home, as well as some beautiful victims.
Right. Then there you go. There you can see the Psycho influence straight away, just in that, synopsis.
It's like Psycho, but there's a scene where he's like torturing a bird, parrot, like torturing a parrot, and then you see him. I think that's a real bird.
I do as well.
I don't think it was a parrot, but he's dissecting it or whatever, or doing his taxidermy shit.
It's obviously a dead bird. Yeah. I wouldn't
Right.
say I wouldn't say they killed it on purpose or anything, but it's real.
But I was like, this. I know that the information I found on this one though, it was like saying it got censored heavily.
Right. Yeah.
And for some, it said almost full nudity and like there's some lewd behavior. There's some what do you call it? Necrophilia vibes going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like breaking some boundaries in 1966, but it ended up getting a release anyway. Got a over 18 rating, and they released it.
Yeah, I seen they cut 35 seconds out of it as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe there was nudity, but
really, there's a scene where he goes to a nightclub, and one of the females you saw on the clip, and she's got like these things covering her nipples, but they're like really big,
Yeah.
So I don't know if that. I mean, I don't know. There wasn't really a whole lot of craziness, but
I was going to say it's kind of tame, really, even though it's implied necrophilia, which is not a great subject, obviously.
Right.
It is tame, I feel. But for its time, you can see, yeah, maybe not, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, I can mention the directors, Mino Guarini.
yeah.
He did a screenplay for Mario Bava that most people would know that are into the Giallo or The Girl Knew Too Much.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and he also did a film. He did a Giallo that I haven't seen called Murder by Appointment.
Which
And,
is called Date for Murder as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's inspired by Mario Bava as well. And but he mainly worked on comedy films. And that's like a theme in this stream tonight on a couple of these people. Like they're comedy directors. Two of them are. Like I was like, what the hell? But so he did a Killer 77, Alive or Dead was the next film after this one. And that's like a Euro spy film that I've never seen it, but I figured I'd write it down. But I think the rest of his stuff's mainly comedy. So I'm not real familiar with the Commedia Italiana.
Right. Yeah, no, me.
You know?
That's not my favorite genre, to be honest.
And the screenplay is by Mino and Piero Regnoli. They did the screenplay for E. Vampiri. Over 110 films. I think that the Piero Regnoli did over 100. He did 110 screenplays, and he directed 11 films. Playgirls and the Vampire was one of them.
Okay, yeah.
He directed Fulci's White Fang. I mean, he worked on Fulci's White Fang screenplay, and Cry of a Prostitute. But
the one famous one he worked on as well was Nightmare City, Valenzi.
Okay.
He wrote some of that, or he wrote the screenplay for that. And he also wrote a really wacky, like, Italian film called Patrick Still Lives. It's like really fucking out there.
And that'll come up again later on. In one of the films, one of the locations where Patrick Still Lives was filmed. But and the scores from Francesco De Masi. Did a lot of westerns and sword and sandal films. Did Ricardo Freda's An Angel for that's not The Ghost by Ricardo Freda.
Yeah.
He also did An Angel for Satan in 1966. Any Gun Can Play for Enzo Castellari. The New York Ripper. He did the score for that. Lone Wolf McQuade. So kind of crazy, some of these films. Inglourious Bastards from Enzo as well. He did quite a few with Enzo. I was looking through there, seeing. And let's see. I got the producers, Luigi Carpentieri. He produced E. Vampiri as well, Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, and The Ghost, which I would say the Horrible Dr. Hitchcock, you can kind of do a double feature with this one. Same vein, like almost.
Okay, yeah.
I prefer the Horrible Dr. Hitchcock over this, but they both had the same theme of the necrophilia shit, but it's very subtle. It's,
yeah.
And then The Day of the Owl, 1968, Salon Kitty in 1976, and Beyond the Darkness, same producer that produced this one. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, So
the assistant director was Ruggero Deodato.
Yeah.
And the production inspector was Sergio Martino, which is crazy. Because just reading those names, I thought I was going to really love this one, but I've seen it a couple of times and it doesn't quite work for me.
Right.
I could go through some of the cast if you want.
I can see though, like Franco Nero, his acting's pretty solid, but that one part, and I showed him the clip where he emotes and he's like
Right.
crying. Like
Yeah.
I like he wasn't there yet. I don't think. Like
I think, like, if you put this up against The Quiet Place in the Country,
yeah,
his acting improved like fucking
that's 2
tenfold.
years later.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah,
This, I don't think this is a great performance, if I'm honest, by him.
I think
He's
he does.
okay. He does okay.
In some of the scenes. I think he's pretty solid.
I actually think Erica Blank is pretty much the star of this one.
Yeah, I would
She
say
plays,
I'd agree.
Yeah, she plays Laura, his girlfriend in the film, due to be his wife, and she got like a dual role. She plays Daniela as well,
And that's
her younger sister.
That's a Gothic trope, the duality.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a little bit about her. So she was born on the 23rd of July, 1942 in Brescia, Italy. And some of the films you'll know her from is Body Puzzle, Dragonfly for Each Corpse. She did the Doorway into Darkness TV series with Argento. She did one of them. The Devil's Nightmare, which arguably is one of her best performances. The one I love is The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave, and you can put So Sweet, So Perverse in there. Kill
Definitely.
Baby Kill. So yeah.
Kill Baby Kill. I was about to say you better mention that one.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely going to mention a Bava, otherwise Dirk would be on my case. And the rest of the cast, they're not well-known names or big names of any kind, but Olga Sabelli plays Mino's mother.
I think she does a great job.
Yeah, she's another shining light in
She's
the
a
film.
believable, mean, bitchy mother. Like.
And she was literally born in 1898.
Which
when
is
I read
insane.
that, it's fucking crazy when you think about that. Like over 120 years ago. But Marina Morgan, she plays a nightclub performer. She went on to become a very big like TV star in Italy. She used to produce kind of forward programs and talk, for Rai TV, presenter and all that. Yeah. So people in Italy instantly know her now if they go back and watch this film. But yeah, you've got Luciano Fotti, he plays the policeman. He was in a couple of Giallo's, Autopsy, Giallo in Venice, which is probably one of the worst Giallos ever made.
It's entertaining, but it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty fucking sleazy as well.
It's sleazy as shit, yeah.
Yeah. But apart from that, there's not too much about the cast with this one.
I got a little bit on Erica Blanc. I mean, hold on, let me catch the chat right quick. We got Acres of Movies in here. Hello and thanks.
Hey, what's up? Yeah. Always nice to see you in the chat.
Terrific movies again. Thanks, chaps. Appreciate you. Hell yeah. We got McKinney Kong in here. Whoop whoop.
What's
up, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Acres of Movies says, in Milan, the villa from A Quiet Place in the Country is not far from my estate. I love that movie. So many movies have copied elements of that.
I can't wait to fucking
That's crazy because, I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and mention it since you said that. Because you got Burial Ground, Patrick Still Lives.
Yeah.
There's some more, man. What am I missing? Damn it.
They're the two most well-known ones I know. I didn't know there was any more. But...
There's some more. I got them here somewhere. But yeah, it's a great location, great villa.
That's a great film as well. Because Dirk had never seen that film, and we'll come on to that in a bit. But
I hadn't seen none of these. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you haven't
seen none of these three. So it's great. It's great going through them, exploring and finding shit you never seen.
Absolutely.
So, let's see. You got Caveman. Hey there. Happy New Year to everyone. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you, man. Hell yeah. Fat Pig says the full moon Blu-ray for Giallo in Venice looks like shit, by the way. Yeah.
I do own that one, yeah.
Do I got that one? I think I
think you have. It's called, Gore in Venice.
Yeah.
There's a much better release where Troy Howarth does the commentary. I'm blanking on the make or the company, but if you can seek out that other release, is the best way to see it, I think.
Right.
But I'm sure we're going to cover that at some point.
Okay.
Maybe when we do some sleazy ones, probably.
I mean, I got stuff on the special features. If you want to, do you want to go through the film first, and then I can?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah. So Mino is this rich count. He's into taxidermy. But he's dominated by his mother. She's a big part of his life. She's kind of a little bit jealous of the girlfriend. Erica Blank plays Laura.
And you don't know, like, there's some like perversion too, because like, he's making out with Laura, his fiance.
Yeah.
She's like peeping through the wall behind this picture, kind of like Norman Bates, exactly. I mean, a lot of things come from Psycho inspired, you can tell.
But. Oh yeah, absolutely. You got Marta, who's the housekeeper, and you can tell that secretly she's in love. She's in love with Mino, and she's kind of got this dream. She wants to marry him, but the mother kind of hates her as well. I think she hates everyone but her son in this film.
She treats her like a damn dog, Like...
Yeah, because she grew up with a family. Because I think her father, who knew the count, and they were out on some shooting expedition, and they both got caught up in an accident, and they both died. So she kind of grew up, looking after the family.
Which raises questions if you think about it, like how did that go down exactly?
Nothing's ever, apart from what I just said, nothing's ever mentioned again in the film about that.
It's not.
So it's kind of open-ended to how you feel about that.
Yeah.
But obviously, Mino's like mother's dead set against him marrying Laura, and she's kind of trying to do everything to kind of push her away. It gets really fucking wild, and we're gonna definitely give spoilers to these films because there's no way we can really talk about certain aspects that we want to without giving major spoilers away. So be prepared, guys, just for that. Erica Blanc, I think, is fantastic in this film. I think she's always been probably in the top 10, I'd say, of my favorite actresses anyway.
Oh, really?
But, yeah,
okay.
She's up there.
I didn't know she was that high.
She's one of the under kind of rated ones for me. You'll never put her up there with, I don't know, into like acting wise, she's probably as good as anyone. But in terms of like Edwidge Furness and Barbara Boucher, she's not kind of as iconic as them.
I love listening to her interviews. So like I mean, she just seems like she would have been fun to be around because she was she was like saying that she got tired of being cast only just for a pretty face. She was tired of being looked at like just a pretty flower vase. So she quit doing films. So she went to theater because of that reason. She wanted to be known as an actress. You know what I mean? Not just eye candy type shit. But
that surprises me because I've always thought she could act. I always thought
they kept typecasting her like
it's
like
sexy
roles,
ditzy, sexy. She's very, even though she's beautiful, there's just something strange like looking about her, but in a good way, not a bad way. And I always felt maybe that she dipped out a little bit too early then from what you're saying, but I'd love to have seen her gone on and maybe done something with Argento or Fulci. But so early on, Laura just goes off. I think Marta the maid tells her that Mino's not there, not at the villa. Yeah. So she goes off in a huff kind of thing, and she says she's going to go and see her sister. But what's happened previous to that is the maid has literally cut the brakes on her car, which makes for definitely an interesting scene.
And then while that's going on, while she's dying, or her car crashes, and she goes into the water and everything, then she kills his mother down a staircase and shit. Right. I mean, this happens early on, so it's not like big spoiler alert, But
and those two murders, they are murders, isn't it? So those two murders happen within a space of in the film, literally hours of one another, maybe an hour of one another.
Right.
So in the space of an hour, he's lost his mother, he's lost his girlfriend,
his
the
fiance.
two real, the two
So his
real
mind
kind
just
of.
fucking snaps, you know.
It does, yeah. And there's a shot where she's kind of like hanging out the car. She's dead. She like, you know, her face is submerged underwater, and
I think it's a good shot though. I think it
oh,
looks
it's a
good.
great shot. It's a
And
great
by the
shot.
way, Erica Blanc said that when that scene, when she was doing that scene, like they were like, okay, cut or whatever, she stayed underwater fucking with everybody.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she was fucking with everybody. They thought that their lead had died, and they were like, "What?" They were freaking out, like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" Like,
right,
you know,
yeah.
and she was just playing possum. She said she'd do that kind of shit all the time, playing pranks on people and shit. Like,
Yeah, but that could seriously backfire, couldn't it? Really?
yeah, I was like, "What the hell?" She just seems like a trip, man. Like, should have, like, and she also mentioned that she always wanted to play. She always wanted to kind of party and shit, and she was trying to get Franco Nero to go with her, you know, and
okay.
and he wouldn't. He wouldn't. He was studying his English, and she's like, "What the hell? You know why?" He's like, "I'm gonna be working in America one day and shit." You know. So she said he was very determined. Like, big respect to Nero though, nothing but respect from her.
Oh man.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was. I mean, you could hear that a lot from like everybody, like how much of a class act Franco Nero was. You know.
Yeah, we'll come on to that. What David Hess like highly regards him as well.
Yeah.
What I like about that scene though is where you see her like she's dead from the accident, and then it kind of Mino goes towards her, and then it kind of cuts where Mino's back then at the villa, and it doesn't show you what's going on. I do actually like that aspect of it. So we don't know what he's done with, you know, with the
exactly.
So it's all up in the air and kind of open. And we don't really know then until a little bit later on in the film, because he starts to like go off the deep end. Then he's like picking up prostitutes, and he's picking up this, like you said earlier, this nightclub singer.
You see like these old prostitutes, like that one woman, she's like, what'd she say?
Oh man, she's nasty.
I can't even think what she said, but looking for some action or something. I can't.
Yeah, just stereotypical kind of prostitute talk.
Yeah,
really.
But she was old as hell though.
Yeah. But there's, and if you've seen Beyond the Darkness or Buried Alive, you'll know the scene that's coming up. So he takes this nightclub singer, and he's about to have sex. They're on the bed about to have sex, and then he reveals his fucking fiance's fucking dead body next to the bed, and she kind of freaks out, and he ends up strangling her. And
you don't see that though right away. You know, you just see her screaming.
It's implied, isn't it? Yeah.
She's just screaming, and you don't know why, and then you see why. But that's Marina Morgan. I think she was pretty famous in Italian television.
She was, she was a very famous presenter.
Yeah.
And then from there on in, it's kind of you've got kind of his maid, the housekeeper. She's kind of in love, and she kind of says to him, "Oh, it's not so bad. We can cover all this up as long as you pretty much will marry me." Kind of blackmailing him in a way, and he's just desperate, to kind of, he doesn't want to go to the police, obviously, and all that, so he goes along with it. And then their two relationship is really strange and weird as the film goes on as well.
Yeah, it's a lot different though than Beyond the Darkness. That you could tell that D'Amato had been a fan of this one. I mean, I would have. I would assume,
I would imagine, with the obviously Martino and Diodato links as well. This is probably a well-known, in Italian circles anyway, this was probably quite a well-known film. Right. My problem with it is I'm always going to compare it to Beyond the Darkness, and I fucking love Beyond the Darkness.
I can't do that though. I mean, like, I might even love Beyond the Darkness more than you, because that's the very
I think you did, yeah.
Because that's my introduction to Italian horror, period, was that film. So
I remember you saying that. I'm pretty sure you did slightly like it a little bit more, because we have covered it on here.
Right.
But yeah, that's my only problem with it. Obviously a little bit later on, again, won't give like everything away, but
no.
We will say that Daniela, Laura's younger sister, she turns up at one point, She's trying to find the missing body of her sister, and she kind of stays at the villa. And I think we can go as far as that point without giving
we don't
away
have
the
to go
ending.
too much further into it.
No, with this one, I think that would be a good way to kind of, get people interested, maybe.
Yeah, and this didn't have English dubs before this release, from what I understand.
Okay, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing on the special features. I think that's from what's his name, Mark Thompson Ashworth.
Right. Yeah.
I think he mentioned that, but
there was a DVD release of this that's the only way you could see it for a long time. Yeah, obviously in Italian then. This was the first. This was a couple of years old, Dirk, would you say, this release?
Yeah, this come out
in
2022.
Okay, so yeah, just over
a couple of years. We get a little behind on the release. We're not throwing shit out there to, because it's fresh, new, and trying to get views and shit. But
oh no, this is just purely based on fucking love for the genre. That's why we're here, really.
Definitely. Let's see, hold on.
Yeah, go on.
Acres of Movies has a question. Favorite scene in The Third Eye?
Good question. Let me think about that.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go. I think when he goes home and he goes into the bed, and then all that trippy shit starts going on, like with the face of his fiance, and then you get that close up of his eye, and you see his mother's face, and he's just completely going into madness. I think that's probably my favorite scene, for sure.
I think for me, and we've gone to a certain point in the film, we don't want to give too much away. But there's a kill scene I like a lot, like a stabbing scene. I won't get that. I'll just mention that.
I showed a piece of it, but I didn't show it.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite scene, because that does give me like the Hitchcock vibe. And I will say, I don't hate this film.
I mean, it's huge Psycho vibes. I mean, I can't say, I know we've beaten it's like an echo chamber in here. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, but I can't stress that enough. It's almost like watching a Hitchcock, one of those Alfred Hitchcock Presents or some shit,
I mean, this would be perfect to actually put on a double feature like with Psycho, because you could play this first and kind of get in the mood for like a Gothic kind of, do you know what I mean? That style of film. Yeah. But there's a quote early on in the film. So on the credits,
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. So it's loosely based on a story which was fictional, found out to be the book never really existed. Right. But what was interesting is, so Gilles de Rais was actually, it's kind of spelt different, but was actually a French nobleman and a serial killer in the 1400s, I should say. And he was one of the first serial killers on record, which is kind of weird when you think about it.
Damn. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So maybe, that's where they're trying to get the quote from, I think. This went in. Oh, go on. Sorry, Dirk, go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry, man.
I was going to say this went into production in June 1965. Filming mainly took place in Rome until the finale, which was done in Anzio. But yeah, pretty much what Dirk said. I got the production company. I don't want to go over too much, but like they were well known for making all those films Dirk said at the start. But what was you going to say?
This was so it was shot at Olympia Studios in Villa Parizzi, Frescata. And the other two films I was thinking of was Nightmare Castle and Blood for Dracula.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Nightmare Castle, we covered, Barbara Steele, and of course, that's Warhol, right? That Blood for Dracula.
Yeah, Andy Warhol. Man, that's crazy. When you think about four films.
Yeah, Burial Ground and shit.
I mean, Burial Ground is unmistakable. The house, you can just tell.
Right. But it was rumored to be haunted on the second floor. From a cardinal who was poisoned there. And this is coming from Mark Thompson. And he said he went up there on the second floor and he stayed the night. And he said nothing happened. So when was that fairly recently, do you know? Yeah, I don't know when he did it, but I know that he said he did, and he said he didn't experience anything, but it said that you could hear the rumor was, or that you could hear the caretaker reciting the mass.
Okay, yeah.
So, I don't know, but
I would love to see what that house looks like today. I don't know if Acres and Movies has been there recently, if it's still, what kind of state the house is in or anything. If you know anything of that, just put it in the chat.
yeah, I wonder if they, have any kind of strict laws on, because I know I work on historical homes as well, and there's a lot of stipulations. Some things you can do, can't do. Like, I wonder if they've preserved it. I know it's old.
I wonder if they've done it up in some way. I would love to visit. I think that house would be like something similar. Would be the house in House by the Cemetery, the Beyond. That would be an iconic kind of place for me to go.
What do you think about this title of the film, though? So in the early stages, the title was going to be, or it was during, in the very beginning, the cold kiss of death. So
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I was looking as well. It was called The Killer with the Third Eye as well at one point.
Okay.
Which I like again. I do like The Third Eye. I don't know. It doesn't give me that kind of Giallo Gothic horror vibe to it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it did okay for the time because it took in 72 million lira, which was pretty good for the time in the domestic gross.
And that guy Mark Thompson, he was saying that Beyond the Darkness is, him and Stephen Thrower, they called it, a buffo psycho barfarama, and it's definitely more visceral. But he said that he felt like The Third Eye is more disturbing on a psychological level. So
I fucking disagree there, to be honest. I wouldn't. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't usually disagree with anything like Stephen Thrower says.
Well, that's not Stephen Thrower. That's Mark Thompson.
But right. Okay.
He was just commenting what they used to call it Beyond the Darkness. They called it buffo psycho barfarama type.
It is kind of more. Yeah, I guess I can see where he's coming from. This is more of a serious film in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I can see where people would actually say this is more disturbing, but for me, Beyond the Darkness shows so much gore, and it's unmistakably like fucking disturbing.
I was trying to find I can't find it. Anyway, I will.
The director actually was a former journalist, writer, and then a very accomplished painter at one stage until he started coming into films in the early 1950s. He started to, get an interest in making films. And that's kind of, a lot of these directors are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're very like artistic and, ex-painters and all that, writers. That mother figure, Olga Solbelli, it was actually, sadly, it was her last film she ever did. And she was getting on, obviously, you could tell.
Oh, yeah.
By the time this was being made.
Erica Blanc also said that, like, this was her last black and white film, and this was her first lead role in any film. And she said, in this film, the makeup was kind of different. They wore purple lipstick. She had to wear purple lipstick to bring out her lips or whatever.
Enhance, yeah, because they're black and white.
And she was cast right away. She didn't have to sit on no couch there was no acting couch or nothing. Like she was just, yep, you got it, kind of deal. Like so, but
I will say the whole twist towards the end as well is done really well. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to like shit on this film. I do actually think it's got some good things going for it.
Yeah.
But it's just it is very slow. I will like warn people.
Yeah. I could see that. I don't know. I'm kind of used to these kind of films though. Like growing up, I watched a lot of shit like this, you know.
Yeah.
So it don't really bother me too much. I don't know. I got a soft spot for it, man. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10 for me. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's like a straight down the middle 5.
Yeah.
I've seen it more than once as well. I don't.
Okay.
It's not one I really want to go back and watch.
I mean, I'm glad I got it in the collection, you know. So, I don't know.
I will say the commentary track by Rachel Nesbitt is really good.
Okay.
Really informative.
Yeah.
And just I listening to that, like 90 minutes just flew by. Whereas when I was watching the film, it was kind of dragging a little bit. But I'm usually good on the slow burns and I'm not as big on the Gothic films as Dirk. But would you highly recommend this, or just say be careful?
I say if you're a fan of Gothic horror,
yeah,
I think you should check it out. Definitely. It definitely nails that, the atmosphere, and there's not a lot of mystery to it. There's not a whole lot.
It's not that type of film, not at all.
But it's definitely Gothic, and it's, I don't know, man. I appreciate the cinematography. I like the overlay shit, how they overlay stuff with the eye. There's some really cool shots in here, but yeah.
I think I would class it as a proto Giallo as well. So it's definitely, weirdly enough, I would say this is more of a Giallo film than like Beyond the Darkness isn't a Giallo film. It's weird like that.
No, Beyond the Darkness is more of a splatter gore.
It's a gore, yeah.
Type.
It's just a fucking gore fest from start to finish.
It does have some twisted shit going on, like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I think he's right. This is more psychological disturbing, like with the mother angle, because it's kind of like a left in the dark. What's really going on with him and his mother, you know?
Right.
And then, you know what I mean? Like the necrophilia shit. It's real subtle. They had to beat it back then about shit. So,
whereas Joe D'Amato's film, they just fucking show you everything, don't they? They don't care. They just It's all on screen.
It's all in your face. This is more. You gotta, it's more in the mind kind of deal.
It's implied a lot, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But it got shit on for that reason too. Like the censors was bad coming after it. So, but yeah, man, that's the Third Eye. Let's see.
Yep.
You got Scratch Burno in here. What's cracking? What's happening?
Hey,
man?
what's up, man?
I know a lot of people are not big fans of 60s cinema as well, but
I mean, if you're a Hitchcock fan, then definitely give it a watch. I think it'd be
definitely say yeah. Just to see what happens at the end and everything, too.
Yeah. Hopefully, we set it up quite well, and people will be, they will want to go and check it out at some point.
So this next film, man, and Darren, he was all on the fence. He's like, Quiet Place in the Country. And I got to put this label over, man. Radiance Films.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm gonna show the alternate artwork, but let's see. I'll show the alternate. My bad, y'all. Flip it out. They do a great job, really. So here's the alternate. I guess that's the original Italian poster art.
Yeah.
But
they absolutely kill it, man, with some of their new releases.
Yeah, this is a great release. I can't recommend this for everyone. I can't. It's a very ambiguous. It's a very experimental. It's a Giallo. It's a Gothic Giallo, I'd say.
Yeah,
it could
definitely.
It could be supernatural. That's what I mean by the ambiguousness about it. It's one that I'm going to watch probably once a year. I mean, it's one of those kind of films. You can look at this film so many different ways. It's not just one it's not going to spoon feed you what the fuck's going on.
No, it's not at all.
I'll put it that way. But
it's all different genres. I fucking love this film. I
really dig it, man. Yeah, I love it, but I need to watch it a few more times to try to grasp some shit because it's hitting on some things in here, like, and it's very confusing. It's like a mind fuck of a film too. It really is. Like once you get to the end, you still got all these questions about shit. Like now, I know a lot of people hate that kind of shit, but I love it. I love those kind of films.
The more you watch it as well, the more things add up. So, and this one is just fucking never boring. It's straight from the start. It's kind of wild. We'll come into all the scenes and that, but Elio Petri, he did a film called Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, which was Oscar nominated. Not even that. I think it won the Oscar for Best Foreign Film in 1970.
Best Foreign Language Film. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did a film called The 10th Victim in 1965, which is
Troy Howard's doing the commentary, or did the commentary for the Kino release that'll be coming out soon.
Yeah,
but I'll play the first. I got 2 clips on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the first clip before we get too far into it. I see we got Steve Mayers in here. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Always good to have you in there, man. And I'm gonna play this clip. This is the first one for A Quiet Place in the Country.
Nearly everything.
What are you doing?
You believe in spirits?
Oh, indeed, I do. Shakespeare said there are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of in your philosophy. He was right. Suppose you heard the girl died near the wall of the villa.
What girl?
The young countess. It was this way. It was an English fighter plane that started strafing the villa. You can still see all the marks there that the bullets made in the wall. God, I remember her as though it were yesterday. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, that opening scene there that you showed.
Yeah.
It's kind of, if you look into that scene more, like, deeply, it kind of tells you everything you need to know about how this film goes. And
yeah, it kind of does. It's kind of like commercialism, like materialistic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few things you could talk about in that.
Well, which we'll come on to. And there's 2 or 3 ways you can see the way this film is going.
Right.
And probably more on top of that. But
I got a synopsis if you want me to go ahead and read that.
Yeah.
All right. So Leonardo, a successful expressionist abstract artist, isolates in a rural villa away from Milan, hopefully to get an inspiration to work again. A large, imposing mansion with dark secrets in its cracks and crevices seems to haunt he and his materialistic girlfriend, Flavia. He becomes obsessed learning the history of Wanda, a nymphomaniac who was killed during World War II. Reality and nightmares are blurred together and taking its toll on Leonardo's mind, constantly having visions of Wanda's past life. Completely consumed by the mystery of what really happened, it's all that matters for Leonardo now.
Right. Yeah. This got so many layers, this film.
Yeah. It's fucking, man. It's weird seeing Franco Nero play this role too, because he's used to playing like this brute macho kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd say in The Third Eye he's kind of pretty passive as well. Like,
right.
He's passive, but then at the same time he's impulsive. You know, it's like these are psycho roles for him, both of them.
Yeah, it's weird because in this one he definitely so I'll just come on to the characters as well. So you got Vanessa Redgrave, she plays Flavia, his girlfriend, but she's kind of his she owns a gallery, an art gallery, and she's kind of his agent and an all-in-one, pretty much is selling all his works and all that.
Oh, man. What do you think about Vanessa Redgrave?
I was gonna say, right, so she grew up with a very rich family.
Yeah.
But she was very left wing, and she was always fighting for the left wing, you know, politically.
Yeah. But came from wealth. So very privileged, very, very privileged. But man, what do you think about how she looks though? She don't really do nothing for me. Now, Franco Nero, he said that when he first met her, that he seen her in like a cut up pair of blue jeans. She wasn't very attractive to him, he thought.
Right. Yeah.
And she invited him to her house, and he came, and she was all made up, and he was blown away by her then, you know, like, so I don't know. She just don't do it for me, but he considers her the best actress ever. And
she's renowned, yeah.
And I was seeing that Jane Fonda and Meryl Streep both wanted to be an actress because of her.
That don't surprise me. I would say in terms of like physical attractiveness, I definitely think she is, but she's not, you know, you can't put her up against the likes of Boucher or Finesse or anything. She's no.
I don't know. It's a strange thing because I see her in some scenes she looks really good, and then other scenes it's like whatever, you know. I don't know.
But the reason they put her up in such a high regard, so she pretty much won an Academy Award. She won 2 Emmys, 2 Golden Globes, 2 Cannes Best Actress Awards, amongst others. That's just the tip of the iceberg to what she won.
Yeah.
She probably is one of the best actresses, I would say.
I mean, she's a great actress,
to ever live. But she was in, I think I mentioned last week, but she was in this on and off relationship with Franco Nero for over 50 years. She initially wanted to be a ballet dancer, but then she went to drama school in 1954, and 4 years later she made her like West End debut. But yeah, she's one of the all-time greats for me. Being from the UK as well, you know, I've got to see a lot of her. Cast-wise, again, there's not too many well-known faces. There's Rita Calderoni. She plays Eggle. She's kind of a housemaid as well. But she was in a few, well-known for Delirium, 1972, that fucking really fucking offbeat,
that crazy
Giallo film. Yeah.
Vinegar put out a release. We covered it, right?
Yeah, we covered that one. Yeah, and not to be mistaken with the 1987 Lamberto Bava film.
Yeah, Photos for Joya.
Yeah, she was in a few months. She was in Nude for Satan. She was in The Reincarnation of Isabel. But yeah, this is a fucking great film. I just gotta say it, you know, from the opening scene.
I could see though a lot. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I could see a lot of people watching this film and being like, "Oh, this shit makes no sense. This is artsy fartsy bullshit." You know, I could see that argument, but I'm just not in that perspective of it. You know what I mean? Like, so
didn't you say Franco Nero called the director the like Italian version of Kubrick?
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
he's a genius because
completely makes sense.
Franco Nero was saying that he made 10 films and they're all completely different from one another.
Right. Yeah.
All 10 of these films that he made. And he's just a fucking genius, man. And he said I know he made another comment that his head was so big is because of that fucking big brain he had in there. I was like, what the fuck?
They say that, don't they? People with big heads.
But yeah, man.
But there's an undercover theme though to all of his films. Apparently, I've not seen them all. I've only seen 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But they all feature a weak man who's kind of dominated by his other half, so to speak, or a female character.
Yeah.
And the opening scene where you've got so Leonardo, he's a renowned kind of visual artist, and he's tied to this chair.
Expressionist, abstract.
Yeah.
Very, very hippie trippy shit.
Right. So he sees Flavia, then his girlfriend, and she's coming in with all these gadgets, like an underwater fucking TV you can watch while you're scuba diving.
She's just spending money.
Yeah. But this is it for me because.
But then
you once you see this film once or twice, you go back to that scene and it spells fucking everything out for you. Just in the imagery and the iconic kind of nature, it's all there in that scene.
And that's a nightmare, right?
It's a nightmare. Yeah,
it's a nightmare in the opening scene.
Right? Yeah, he wakes up and it's a dream, but you can tell literally it kind of forebodes what's to come as well on everything in that one scene. It is so iconic.
Right. We got let's see. Scratch says, I first saw A Quiet Place in the Country on TCM really late one night and was hooked. Really dug it. Oh shit. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Let's see. The mayor says, hello everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Can't complain.
Hey, what's up, man?
Great Sunday.
Yeah.
Been a good weekend. Let's see. The mayor says, what Franco film are we discussing right now? Oh, A Quiet Place in the Country. Yeah. By Elio Petri. And do you want me to mention some on him a little bit?
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
Elio Petri. So he was part of the Italian Communist Party in 1944.
Yeah.
And like a very young age, and he left in 1956. But man, this dude won all kind of damn awards. Like you mentioned earlier, he won the 1971 Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. He won a Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival in 1972. Let's see. The Museum of Modern Art considered him one of the most prominent political and social satirists of the 60s and 70s. But his debut film was The Assassin in 1961. Then in 1962, he made a film called His Days Are Numbered. He got Best Screenplay Award in 1967. And that's another thing. He was a writer as well. So he wrote. That's another thing Franco Nero was talking about, that he's worked with so many different directors, and a lot of them didn't have a clue what the fuck they were doing. But he said Petri knew exactly how to relax his actors. He knew exactly how he wanted the film because he wrote the shit,
Right. Yeah.
And, but man, the dude died very young at the age of 53. In 1982, died of cancer. So,
I know. Yeah, imagine like what other films you would have gone on to make as well.
Right.
But
yeah, I had to throw his name out. I'm going to have to check out some more of his films for sure. Because he is like, you can see there's more going on. There's like some Stanley Kubrick. And it was even mentioned, I think Stephen Thrower mentioned, he said it's possible that Stanley Kubrick read the book that this is based off of from Oliver Onions. Do you got that?
Yeah, I got
that novel. Somewhere. What is that?
Let me just
hold on. I got it. I'm trying to find that down. Sorry, y'all. Damn it. Oliver Onions. It's based on this book, but
the Back and In Fair one.
That's it. Yeah,
It's
the Beckett and Farrell one. Yeah,
a 1911 short story.
they were saying that it's possible that Kubrick read that novel during his extensive research for The Shining, because this film is very much, I could see, because like in The Shining, a writer goes and isolates,
Yeah.
and in here, an artist is isolating and trying to get inspired, and he's got a mental block of his work and everything. So,
and you've got the whole ghost thing going on. There's no, in my mind, there's no fucking way that Kubrick never saw this film.
Well, yeah, no doubt. But
He
you know how Kubrick was. He was reading all kind of shit, doing his research on different things, and there's I mean, it's very possible. Very possible.
Similarity is just Once you see it, you'll know. I think so anyway. Yeah. But I was going to say the soundtrack to this as well by Ennio Morricone. It kind of, you hear this kind of whistling throughout, and you've got the whole kind of la 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 that he did in his early Dario Argento films as well.
But it's also
it puts you on edge, like.
Wasn't there was somebody else though with Morricone? They were known as the Group, and they were also the first experimental composers collective. So they were working with Morricone, and this is very. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody on this that was making this film was on acid.
I was gonna say it's just the soundtrack alone is like unsettling right throughout.
Right.
It's I mean, that's just to begin with. We haven't really touched on some of the stuff in this film.
No.
But
it's insane. Like, I don't know.
Really,
to sum it up in one word, what would you say? Like this film, like
fucking crazy. Crazy would be a good way.
And this is a very strong performance from Franco Nero, man. Like,
possibly one of his best, I would say.
To play this, because he's playing, he switches, right?
Yeah.
He's like schizophrenic. The character is almost schizophrenic in a way.
It's fucking weird, man. Like early on in the film, from that opening scene, we don't know what's going on. It's like, because he starts getting visions, it's all these crazy things going through his head. Pretty much, he sees himself being pushed in a wheelchair, by his girlfriend,
by Flavia. She looks like his caretaker, like he's some kind of invalid,
And as you notice as well in some of the shots, where we don't know if what he's seeing is fucking real or not.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
A little bit later on, when we come into like the ghost aspect, which we'll move on to, he goes to the mother's house. Is he fucking seeing the mother or not? Because I don't think he is. But yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things up for question in this,
Oh God, this is why I like it so much. It's you could watch this. I no doubt you could watch this 20 times and still not figure it out.
No,
but I like that. I don't want to be spoon fed fucking everything.
No, this is very much, and like I said, man, I'm gonna stress this. I can't recommend this to everyone, but if you like ambiguous puzzle type, fuck with your head kind of movies, this is a perfect one for you.
I would say I would recommend it to everyone. I would. Because I mean, what's the worst can happen? You can come away maybe not liking it, but I think the majority of people would.
I know there's a lot of folks that they'll be like, "Man, what the fuck do you have me watch?" It is
right.
What it is.
Yeah.
But
so he's this painter, like you say, he's this abstract painter.
Yeah.
And he decides, he just pretty much all the stress of like churning out these paintings. He goes into some kind of writer's block for painters, where he's not productive. He wants to kind of get away from everything, literally to a quiet place in the country, which is kind of a really weird fucking title for the film, really, because there's I think
it's Flavia's idea.
Right? Yeah.
It's her idea of the country. He didn't necessarily want to go to the country. He just wanted to get away. you know.
That's right, because she sets him up in this other villa, doesn't she, at first, where she buys a lot of artwork and he goes there, but he's not feeling the vibe. And like on the way there, I think he stops off at this even more old, dilapidated villa that he kind of gets a shine for. And he sees his doppelganger a lot in the opening scenes as well.
That's
where
what I'm
he's
saying.
beckoning, he's beckoning him to come to this villa, you know?
Right.
Man, I'm gonna. Well,
you got a nymphomaniac ghost,
right? Yeah.
Or is it? I'm not spoiling anything here, y'all. So
no.
It's a nymphomaniac ghost with a schizophrenic artist. Like that's kind of like
you can't spoil this. So this villa, then, this old dilapidated villa he goes to, he sees markings on the wall where this young girl Wanda, she's like doing a hike, you know, as kids do. And then he gets to find out the backstory of this villa where Wanda was this, like you say, nymphomaniac. I think she was having sex at 14 with all the local men in the area.
Yeah, with all the men in the town. Like,
but there's kind of a bit of not so much a mystery to her murder. They say she got shot down by the Germans in World War II.
It was an English plane. No, it was an English plane.
Oh, it was an English plane. Sorry,
she was was getting it on with a German soldier.
Oh, that's where it goes fucking off the wall as well.
Yeah, it gets wild. I don't want to spoil the film for nobody. I don't think I can though.
You can. You can.
I don't think you can spoil the film. To be honest,
at one point as well, she's going back having sex with this German fucking army guy, and all her boyfriends were sleeping with her at the time, in there spying on her as well.
Yeah,
but like you said it perfectly. You know, he really digs into this story then, and he goes around asking all the locals. At first, they don't want to say nothing at first, do they? And then he kind of gets it out the local butcher who was having an affair with this young girl.
And every one of them's like, oh, she's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, she must really put it on them. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we see kind of flashbacks as well.
Right.
You know, with her when she's driving the car, we see her kind of naked, like pictures of her absolutely beautiful girl.
Right.
He investigates further, and then he goes to see her mother. Or does he, like you said?
Is she
we don't
really
know
there?
what's fucking reality.
Yeah.
Reality and what's not throughout this film, which is great. And all the while as well, you know, Flavia's kind of turning up here and there. At this point, we don't really realize her motives until the end. Because he's kind of a really weak character, and it's implied that maybe
he's a broken character, though. Like, there's something off. I mean, right out the gate, you can tell there's something not right. He don't deal with social, like in crowds of people very well. Like, people are taking his picture, they're admiring he's a brilliant artist and all this, and he's just like really ducking away from all that kind of shit. He's like, I got to get some air, you know. It's like, he's got some serious issues. But hold on. Yeah. The mayor says, I don't believe that I've ever heard of this director before. I have to do some research on him. Yeah, I suggest check it out.
Check out Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion.
And we'll be covering that at some point.
Yeah, check out his 1961 film L'Assassino, which is a proto-Giallo as well.
Assassin?
Yeah. So I've got the Arrow edition, but I've never seen it. So I want Dirk to like maybe watch that.
We'll get into some more Petri for sure.
We'll pick 3 films out then. We'll do Investigation of a Citizen, we'll do L'Assassino, and then we'll pick another one, and I definitely want to do a Petri special.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. The mayor says, I wonder how many film scores that Morricone has done altogether. I know he's gotten, I don't know how many exactly. I know he did all of Sergio Leone's scores. He did the Animal trilogy for Argento.
Yeah.
He's won over 70 awards. Like,
I'm guessing it's probably well over 500 at this point. Like,
it's a lot.
That could be a low kind of estimate as well.
Right. Acres of Movie says, would you have liked to see a remake of this? Do you like this more than Secret Window? Secret Window. Is that the Johnny Depp film?
That's a Johnny Depp film. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this way more than Secret Window for sure.
This would be perfect for a remake, really. I know we touched on The Shining.
Yeah, it would.
As well.
You got to get the right. You got to get the right people, and don't let Hollywood get a hold of it. Like, you got to get the right director that's not afraid to do what he wants to do or she wants to do, and if Hollywood fuck it up though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
If you got the producers and they're just trying to get a cash cow going thing, yeah, it'd be ruined. So
I think Pesci is definitely a director I'm gonna be.
I'm excited, man.
More acquainted.
I'm really excited about this guy, man. Like, I'm gonna check out some more of his shit for sure.
So check out the stuff with because I know she's done a podcast on him in the past. Kat Ellinger, she does a little bit of the commentary. She's a massive fucking Elio Pesci fan, man.
Okay, I've seen she did on this release for whatever reason. She did commentary on certain scenes.
Yeah, and she kind of goes just more into like what the story's about than anything else, rather than facts about the film.
It's good. I mean, everything she does is pretty solid. So, but yeah, I'll go and play the next clip, man, if you want.
Yeah, because I still got quite a bit to talk about with this.
I do too. But I just I had 2 clips on this one because it was fucking hard for me to just narrow it down in one. So here we go.
It's you, isn't it? Don't you? But look, you didn't notice anything. Look, come here. I'll show you. I got into the habit of coming here and sitting behind the glass. I'd sit here for hours waiting to spy on her. Knowing she made love to others was one thing, but I couldn't stand that.
There's something very unusual in the air tonight. I feel certain we're going to be successful.
Before we make contact, one word of warning. Do not ask personal questions or mention the subject, death.
Why, what could happen?
We might find out the truth. Spirit, give us a sign. Fonda, if it is you, knock twice.
Right. Dirk, I was going to mention, right? So you mentioned The Shining earlier. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say a film now, right, which was made around the same time as The Shining, which is exactly, for me, exactly the fucking same story as this. Mm-hmm. The Changeling. You think about The Changeling. So you've got this artist. I know he's a piano player and a composer. He goes to this house where there's this murder fucking mystery where this ghost is trying to contact him.
Right.
It's the fucking Changeling. It's exactly. You're not going to get exactly, but for me,
because George C. Scott's not a fucking crazy fucker. Like,
no.
His character's not fucking nuts.
I mean, otherwise they would have been going a complete remake route. But like the essential storyline is the Changeling, and you could throw in bits of The Shining and everything as well. But yeah, that's the way I was like. when I realized the actual base of the story, I'm like, fuck, that is The Changeling. There's no fucking denying it. Peter Medak, who directed The Changeling, or you know, the writers, I think he wrote it as well. He must have seen this as well as like the Kubrick. It's just unmistakable.
Or read the
to me.
novel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I read
yeah.
that was a Beckoning Fair one, right?
The 1911 short story. Yeah, absolutely. But and we've only just, for me, I've only just scratched the surface of this film because I could talk a long time about this one.
Yeah.
But Flavia, yeah, you know, she comes to the house and all this weird shit starts happening to her. She thinks, you know, like a
her
bookcase
particularly,
almost falls over. But we don't know, you know, and like at the end, we think, you know, is she actually fucking, is this presence trying to like pretty much be, what's
You
the
don't.
word?
You still
Kind
don't
of
know after you watch it. Yeah.
No, I think you kind of think you know at the end, but if you think about it even more, there's 3-4 different possibilities.
Right.
But the whole kind of murder mystery as well with the, you know, what happened. I think it was the summer of 1944 when this young girl or this young Wanda died. But the painting of the fucking trees as well, that's linked to like Antonioni, who did it in one of his films. He was painting the grass or something.
Yeah, I heard that.
The one character looks a lot like David Hemmings, the photographer, which
From
was
Blow
in
Up.
fucking Blow Up. It's
Yeah.
the same fucking hair,
Same
same
pants.
dress,
Yeah.
everything. So it's a nod to Antonioni.
Right.
But you've got the red dress as well. That becomes a prominent thing throughout this film. I mean, it's such a like riveting fucking story, I think. It's all these genres, though, isn't it? All mixed into one, all blended into one, like. But even in terms of like some of it foreshadows a lot as well. I do notice some of the scenes where he tells like Flavia at one point that he would just love all like the local community to just come to this house and start painting in the fields and kind of, you know, just for the love of painting. And then we see almost like a vision of that come through at the end, even
You know what?
somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this would be. I mean, you've seen the Haunting of Hell House, right?
Yeah.
I think
Definitely
you could pair that with this. You know.
Oh fuck! I think it would go brilliantly with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So that's another film you can put in the mix. You know, where there's kind of that come after, didn't it? Yeah. You on about the original one?
The original, yeah.
The original. So that was obviously before.
Right.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting.
I'm not saying that it's exactly like it. I'm just saying it's similar, like enough where it'd be a good double feature, you know.
I was thinking The Innocents as well. That's kind of got the same vibe, really.
Yeah, definitely The Innocents. Yeah.
That was in 61, I think.
This is more experimental, though. I think more so. Like,
oh yeah, this is completely one of his own thing.
Right.
Yeah, like fucking completely, man.
This was his 5th film, and he was self-taught, so he didn't go to film school and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, I was fucking flabbergasted when I heard that.
And he used Catholic school resources to promote the Communist Party.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, holy shit, man, this dude.
I actually think
crazy he died at 53 though. Cancer.
I was gonna say that he would have gone. I'm sure he would have fucking gone on to the likes of like fucking Argento and Fulci. Yeah.
He was like in that kind of vein, right?
Even above Argento, maybe, you know, like to the
as
high
far
level.
As technical aspect and the way shit. Yeah.
This for me is kind of a mini masterpiece. I don't want to say that lightly either.
No, I agree. And let me mention the story was written by Tonino Guerrero. He did work with Fellini. he also did the story for The Assassin, which was another Petrie film in '61. He did the story for Blow Up, 1966.
Yeah.
He was an Italian poet, writer, screenwriter. He worked with Andrei Tarkovsky and Michelangelo Antonioni.
Right. Yeah.
So that's all like some,
high end fucking
avant-garde type directors and shit. So, I say check it out, man. Like, this is not, I mean, I know I've said it enough probably, but it's not, if you want to turn your brain off, try to watch something, no, this ain't the film. Like, this is a thinking man's film for sure. Like,
if you like Gothic Giallos, if you like kind of a ghost story
that's exactly,
as well.
It's a Gothic Giallo, could be supernatural as well, but you don't really know. It's definitely fucking mystery out the ass.
And we gotta mention the seance scene as well at the dinner party towards the end. So his girlfriend Flavia, they contact the spirit, and she kind of thinks she's being strangled at one point, and then
she thinks it's somebody in the room though.
Right, and we kind of almost get like an explanation of that, or do we? We do. Again,
it does that a lot.
It
like
does,
you think and then you're like, oh shit, fuck,
But we got to mention the scissors thing as well. So these scissors keep showing up early on in the film, and then even more so in the seance scene. I think they just appeared, then they're on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very iconic.
It's loud.
Yeah,
just hit the table. So
they are very kind of iconic to what goes on later on.
And I was kind of wondering about these people, like these people that do these seances in this town or whatever. I was wondering about them. Like, are they, there's a whole nother angle with them. Like, are they charlatans or,
right?
What the hell's going on here? But
maybe Flavia's brought them in to maybe kind of twist his mind a bit more.
Right.
We just don't know because we don't know if she's actually in on it, the whole thing, trying to drive him insane at some point. And I'm sorry, but we are going to spoil some of this, and because there's so much to talk about.
I mean, it's hard you can't dance around this one, man.
No,
and it's not really spoiling it, really, like, because I mean, unless you just want to experience it, like, and not know anything at all, I say check it. I mean, come back and watch this after, you check it out. But
there's even that scene where towards the end where he uses a shovel and we think that he kills Flavia, and then realize pretty quickly that he hasn't. When the police take him away and they put that fucking thing over his head, and he just starts freaking out.
It's like a spit bag is what I got from it.
Yeah. And I mean, probably won't give away the final shot. Or
no. I mean, I think we've kind of gone through enough of the film itself. I think.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think you need to people need to watch this film just to fucking make your own opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it for the end alone, I would say. Just the whole fucking build-up that we've mentioned, but the end alone, I think, is very. You'll either click with you what you think has been going on, or you'll go back a second time and think of another thing, or maybe a third thing the next time you see it. And even now, for me, and I know Dirk's seen this once, I think I figured it out, but I'm not 100%.
No, you ain't figured this shit out.
I think I'm like 80% there, but then there's always that nagging 20%. You think, fuck.
Right. We got Jonathan in here, Bombastic Reviews, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? How's things, John?
Yeah, man. Good to see you in here, man.
Yeah. I was watching.
We're just talking these crazy ass Franco Nero films, man.
Oh man, I don't know whether this would be one for Jonathan.
Yeah,
I was watching Region 3 last week,
right.
And I don't know, maybe, but this is fucking off.
Yeah, it's off the rails for sure. I dig it though, man. I really do. But yeah, man, Quiet Place in the Country, man. Ratings Films, they nailed it with this one.
They nail it with all of them, mine. I've bought a few of their recent watches.
I mean, the only other one I got
releases.
from them is E Vampiri.
Yeah.
But it's a great release, which is the very first Italian horror film with sound.
Right, yeah. 57,
1957, yeah.
But they've been doing a lot of these Italian crime films as well. I bought Day of the Owl.
I see they got some Hong Kong stuff too, right?
Yeah, they've got a bit of everything.
Yeah,
there's
a
one
lot of foreign stuff. Yeah.
There's one I think you'll really like that I want to cover on here. It's called Slap the Monster on page 1. And it's kind of got like a semi kind of Giallo vibe.
Yeah.
But it's another film completely of his fucking own. It's like a political film.
Right.
Which is what Petri did, mine. A lot of his films were political as well. Pretty much everything he done.
It's real subtle though. It's not like, you know, I mean, I don't think it's like necessarily in your face.
Do you think that consumerism is definitely a part of the?
It's a big part of it, yeah.
Subtext, isn't it? Really, yeah.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to mention on this one?
I'm just looking. I've got friggin' time. I don't want to go on too much though.
Right.
No, just like I said, this is one of the films that, like, for me, it's very rare for me to like find something and completely fucking blow me away. Yeah. When I stumbled upon this one, I was like, why the fuck didn't I hear about this before? I'd love to have heard about this 10, 15, 20 years ago, you know? But I was fairly recent, I think 5 years ago, maybe.
It just trips me out, though, like, because this came out in 1968, and it does not feel like 1968 film.
No, it doesn't. No,
not at all. Like,
the acting in this as well. I know we touched upon it. Like, fucking Vanessa Redgrave and him together.
Yeah.
Were like, didn't they do another film together as well? I think they actually
they met on Camelot.
Camelot, which apparently is apparently a great performance by him.
Right.
We'll have to check that out. I know it doesn't really come along the horror kind of
no, but I mean, Nero did shit, man. He did every genre. He did all kind of genres, different genres, you know. So
Petri did a mafia film you mentioned earlier as well, didn't he? I think it was the year after this.
That's what the hell was it? In 62, right?
It was.
His days are numbered.
Yeah, it might be that one.
Yeah, that one. It's a mafia film.
I was reading, like, do you know the Stephen Thrower? Obviously, you've seen the interview.
Yeah.
He did mention that he kind of had the idea for this back in 1962.
He wanted this to be his second. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he wanted to get this character who kind of goes for this tranquil life in the country, in this country house. It was all set to star Marcello Mastroianni, who stars in The Assassin as well. So I'm glad that didn't happen, because we wouldn't have this one. So you've got an opening very similar to Ingrid Bergman's Persona, which is another film I really want to see, because it keeps getting mentioned in all these chats. But I won't go too much, but people definitely check out the Stephen Thrower interview. It's like 50 minutes fucking long, and and Kat Ellinger completely break down the whole film in the extras. But they still don't, they still allow you to like have your own opinion on what's going on.
I don't think
highly recommended. No, you're right. Like, yeah. I can't speak highly enough of this film though, but it's highly recommended on my part.
Yeah. I will say Franco Nero compares Leonardo, the character that he's playing. He says that he's someone who needs their mommy. You know.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And
was he named after Da Vinci? The artist.
I'm not sure.
I think it's hinted. Yeah, I think it's hinted at that, because Elio Petri was a big collector of paintings as well. Yeah. And in some of his earlier films, he actually shows his painting collection.
I gotta mention Jim Dine.
Yeah.
So there was the real artist Jim Dine, who does he did like 10 paintings for this film. He asked Franco Nero and Petri if they wanted to buy his films. I mean, they wanted to buy his paintings for $1,000 a piece. He had 10 of them, and that would have been like $100,000, right? So Nero and Petri like told him off or whatever, and then Nero sees a big ass billboard, I think in New York or something, and he sees like somebody is like he's having like this big gallery going on, and somebody's like, yeah, this is this new artist. He's on the rise, and like his paintings are like worth so much money now. He's like,
oh fuck,
he regretted the shit out of that. So,
holy shit, man.
But yeah, he became famous, man, and the film didn't do good with the critics. They were negative, and especially in Italy. But now it's considered a masterpiece. So
I was gonna say, it completely must have gone over the heads of everyone who was seeing it.
Right. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man. Oh yeah, there's one more thing from Nero. He was saying that he had met Petri when he was like 23, and he and Petri told him to do Django, and he's like, but
yeah, that's right, yeah.
And Nero's like, I'm an actor. I trained at Piccolo Tetro in Milan, and then Elio said, but who knows you? And he's like, no one. And Petri said, then do it. You have nothing to lose. And he says, so it was because of Petri is why he took that Django role. And
right. And he became huge star.
Yeah, now he's an international superstar because of that. So
I know, like, he's very respectful, Franco Nero, as well, of the next director in the next film we're going to mention too. Right. But yeah, Elio Petri kind of made him his career.
He kind of, and they were friends after, like, from then on, you know. So
do you think maybe this storyline is a bit like autobiography of Elio Petri as well? Maybe like what Argento used to do the same in some of his films early on.
It was hinted at. Like, I think Thrower was speaking on that too.
Yeah, he touched upon it. So yeah, right. that don't surprise me, you know.
But yeah, man, that's a Quiet Place in the Country, man. And I guess we'll get on to Hitchhike, 1977.
I'm glad we just give that last film a good fucking, you know.
Yeah.
There's no other like reviews on fucking YouTube or anything that does anything remotely similar to what we does and go like in depth. So I'm just glad that we fucking do that, to be honest.
Yeah, Quiet Place in the Country deserves some love for sure. And I'm glad.
We didn't rate that. We didn't rate that.
Oh yeah, so I got to give it, like, it could probably go up, but it's probably I'm gonna say it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
It's, I mean, I marked it on Letterboxd as like an 8.5. I know you can't do halves, but yeah, the more I think about it, it's definitely a 9. It's a 9. Yeah, all day.
Yeah, it's a 9 out of 10 for sure. I don't really see anything wrong with it because I don't think you can, with that kind of film, go wrong, like the way it's done. But it's visually stunning, man. Like, it's all kind of. I mean, I could go on and on about that film, but I'm not going to.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Well, that's cool. Shit, 9 out of 10, man. Both of us. So yeah. But we're gonna get into Hitchhike, man. 1977. Directors Pascal Festa Campanile. Yeah. And here's the one I got.
And that's a good release, man. The Blue Underground.
It's a Blue Underground DVD. I was dealing with somebody on eBay and they pissed me off, so I was like, "Fuck you," you know. But whatever. So.
But this does need a 4K. This needs a 4K.
I mean, this is straight though. This Blue Underground DVD is just fine, man. There's a 17-minute special feature. Devil Thumbs a Ride or something. David Gregory directed it, and done really well. It's a lot of information in that 17 minutes. But here's the clip, y'all.
Someone has to be sober to get us back. Keep drinking like that and you'll be drunk before dark.
Really? Is that a promise? You know what? I had your head a little while ago in my gun sight. For at least half a minute.
You're really disgusting.
Boom! What's so funny? Can you imagine my wife roasting the rest of that piece of meat?
Your wife?
You won't believe it, but there is something about that thing over there that my wife wishes she had.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
That spit up her ass.
I've never met an Italian yet that could hold his booze.
Don't melt, darling. They're doing exactly what we did before.
You're wrong, darling. They're making love. We just screw.
Don't tell me you can tell the difference, darling.
Go fuck yourself, darling.
That's an invitation, bitch. I'm sorry. I'm all dried out. Now what are you doing?
I'd like to see you with your car off the road in a place like this. No, come on, get in. We're heading for the highway going south.
Let me see if I can get it, because you're such a good lay. How'd you like to suck my cock?
Stop the car! Stop the car! Get out, you bastard!
Okay, reporter. You keep out of this.
I'm gonna...
Okay, Martini. Or whatever your fucking name is. The honeymoon's over. What's up, officer?
Just routine.
I'm an Italian journalist.
Hey, move on.
Bastards! Start the car! Hurry up! Or else you and that pizza head will end up the same way! Down! Just calm down!
Syphilis. Better yet, a veteran. So we can put the blame on someone gets hurt. We get kicked out, and from there, it's a short...
Shit,
Man.
I didn't think you'd go that far out of the clip, man.
Yeah, it was pretty. That was like some shit, man. I was like, holy shit.
This film goes to fucking places where you don't expect it ever to go, man. All the way through, there's different twists to this. I love it.
Yeah, man. Hold on, let me catch the chat right quick. We got
Yeah.
My wife in here, my beautiful wife, Tasha. She says, "Hey, Darren. Hey, honey, I'm in and out." I hear you. No
Hey,
problem.
that's all right, Tash.
Yeah. What's your favorite Nero film?
Good question. I know, like, one that comes almost straight to mind was The Fifth Chord is one of my favorites. I'd have to say this probably and The Quiet Place in the Country. But you've got the films that we did last week as well as some.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna say Fifth Chord.
Fifth Chord, I would say, yeah.
There's still a lot I need to see though. It really is.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I still need to check out a lot of these westerns shit too, you know. But let's see. The mayor says I've actually seen that DVD before. I checked it out of my local library. I did a search for Blue Underground movies and checked out everything that they had. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool, man. That libraries can do that now. Like you can just go get movies for free and shit. You know.
I would say to Justin if he's not checked out Street Law as well, to definitely give that one a watch.
I think he had because he
did last week.
Yeah. I think he's seen Street Law for sure.
All right, I remember the comment now. Yeah,
I think he mentioned Keoma too.
Keoma, yeah, that's another one.
That's one that I really want to see with Enzo and Nero.
Yeah,
but
76, I think, wasn't it, that one?
Yep. But let's see. Hold on, I think I got something here. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead, Darren.
So this is kind of the middle film in what I would call his kind of terror trilogy.
Yeah.
You've got obviously Last House on the Left. You've got The House on the Edge of the Park. And while it may not quite be as good as them, it's definitely in the fucking conversation. We'll come on to ratings later. It's still one I would say is probably one of my favorites. And putting it up against those two is hard anyway, because those two are both 9, 10 out of 10. Oh, the one I would say is a 10 out of 10, and fucking Last House is probably a 9. But this is great. This is exploitation all the fucking way, man. It's got a bit of everything.
This is, I would say, this is an action road thriller.
Yeah, I mean, similar to the last one, it's got different kind of.
It's got that road vibe, like
yeah.
But it's a thriller. But then it's got the action aspect, exploitation all the way, though. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Rape revenge, you could say at one point, maybe. So yeah,
kind of. But then it's fucking weird, man. We're not spoiling this one. We can't.
No, we can't. You can't spoil.
But it's fucked up. I'll say that. But anyway, I'll go ahead and I got a very brief synopsis that I wrote. So
yeah.
Alcoholic reporter Walter Mancini and his wealthy, beautiful wife Eve are headed back to Los Angeles, but Eve decides to help out a hitchhiker, Adam Kunitz. But turns out he's an escapee from a mental institution who's just pulled off a robbery for $2 million.
Do you mean cunts? And that's that's a in joke in the film, and he keeps calling him cunts at the first.
Right.
And then he says, like, because his name's Mancini, and he says Martini, doesn't he, to him, and they got this fucking
calls him Pizza Head and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got anything on the director you want to mention or anything,
Yeah, Pascal Festa Campanile. He's mainly known for comedies. That's what I was on about earlier. And
right, yeah.
But he began as a screenwriter in 1949 for a crime melodrama called Fadija. And he co-produced films for Dino Risi and Luchino Visconti. Another notable film is Soldier of Fortune, 1976 comedy with that he did with Bud Spencer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's really all I got on him, because most of his filmography is comedy, and then
There's
you see
not
Hitchhike.
a lot. Yeah,
you see Hitchhike, and there is some comedic elements in Hitchhike. You can definitely see it. Like when they're at like some of the clips I just showed. Like
it's comedy or like, but not. It's not like Last House on the Left type comedy. It's just fucking more subtle.
Right. But Last House on the Left is a masterpiece, Darren. Let's just let's
fucking cocktail of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's fucking, it is bordering on
some groundbreaking fucking film.
Not as good as fucking Night Train Murders though. No fucking way.
Well, Night Train, like we've already talked about that.
Yeah. Go back and watch out of a stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only film of note that I wrote down that I remember, like, kind of Pascali doing was The Libertine, which is supposed to be it's not a giallo, but it's kind of got kind of elements.
There was another one called Gamecock.
Gamecock?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're that.
It's a comedy too, but a sexy comedy, I imagine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he had a shit ton of comedy films.
Probably started off like Fulci then, did he? Maybe.
I think he was mainly comedy from what I saw in his filmography. Yeah. So, and it's just weird because you got Hitchhike right there, like around all that shit. But the screenplay was written by Ottavio Gemma. And I could not find shit on them, or Aldo Crudo and Pascal too. He Pascali or whatever. They 3 people wrote the screenplay. So
it's hard to dig up stuff on some of these.
It is, man. The cinematographer was Franco Di Giacomo, which is odd because he's got a film called Kill the Fatted Calf and roasted.
And that's a Giallo. Yeah.
1970.
Yeah.
And Four Flies on Gray Velvet did the cinematography on that. Who Saw Her Die? Amityville 2. And Short Night of Glass Dolls. Sergio Leone's Duck You Sucker, 1971. And Firestarter, 1984. He's got a nunsploitation film called The Nun and the Devil, 1973.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Yeah. And My Name is Nobody, 1973 as well. So
that's a pretty decent body of work,
that's
man.
That's a kind of crazy, like that
schizophrenic type. Yeah.
Those films is like all over the place. But
yeah,
he's getting work, man. He's a good. I mean, he does great. It's actually him and there's another one too, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, Giuseppe Rossellini.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really find much about him.
I couldn't either. But I had to mention him. So.
But I do want to mention some of the cast. Obviously, Franco Nero we mentioned last week. But so you've got Corinne Kelly. She plays Eve Mancini, which is Walter Mancini's wife. She was born on the 23rd of March, 1950 in Paris, France. She started her acting career in the late 1960s under the name Corinne Piccoli. Her first important film was Les Pontiacs with DJ Hubert Wayaf, I'm probably butchering that, whom she married at age 17.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, she was not just an actress, she modeled early on as well in the French magazine Lou. She played a Bond girl in 1979's Moonraker. And she also appeared in the second season of Italy's Big Brother. You got that in America, yeah, that TV show?
Oh, I can, especially now we can find anything, right?
Yeah. So but some of her films, her biggest kind of well-known film, she was a big star at the time, was one that came out a couple of years earlier called The Story of O.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Is another one that gets mentioned a lot. She did The Devil's Honey, which she's superb in that role as well. Plot of Fear, which is another Giallo from 76. 28 Manito, which is based on the Monster of Florence.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, but it's not in English and there's no subs.
And
that's one I've been dying to see.
I have watched
properly
a couple of these with no subs, and it's trying to figure out what the hell is exactly going on.
I do want to see that eventually. She also did the TV show with Dario Argento called Turno Donotti in 1987, which is on the deep cuts. I could quickly go into David Hess a little bit as well. So David Hess, he plays Adam Kunitz, so it's called Kuntz. He was born in New York in 1936. He started out as a songwriter for Shalimar Music in 57, using the name of David Hill. His first recording was a hit, All Shook Up, which was obviously, sung by Elvis Presley, later performed. He wrote songs for Presley throughout the 50s and 60s. He was a hugely successful songwriter. In 72, he started off in his film, with Wes Craven's Last House on the Left, which he composed the soundtrack to that as well. He directed a Christmas horror film. His only one was To All a Good Night, which is not that bad. It's kind of a decent slasher. But he sadly died on the 7th of October, 2011.
Yeah.
I think it was suspected heart attack. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. Which was sad. I remember that news. I think I was online at the time. I was with my girlfriend.
I remember he was going to see Ruggero Deodato.
Yeah. I'll always remember it, right? Because I was online and I was doing something online and my girlfriend was next to me. And then it came up on the news that he'd passed away, and my girlfriend could see I was visibly kind of shocked and a little bit upset. And she said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "Oh, David Hess is fucking dead." And he was 75. I always thought he was a lot younger, but a great body of work as well. He did Body Count. He was in the TV show Knight Rider. He played a part.
Oh yeah,
House on the Edge of the Park, Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing's the first thing I saw in it.
Yeah, you've said about that in the past. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen Swamp Thing. I mean, when I was real young. But let me catch the chat right quick. Let's see.
Yeah.
Justin said, let's see. The mayor says, I'm going to be basic and say Django. It was the first Franco film I had seen. Okay. Hey.
Oh, man, I still need to see it. I said last week, I do need to see that one.
And Justin Marino says, yeah, I love Street Law and Keoma. Yeah, man. I remember him. I think I remember him mentioning it.
But I was just gonna say quickly, what's Keoma about? Do you know, Dirk? Or can
it's
Justin
a Western.
put in this? Oh, it's a complete Western, is it?
Yeah, with Enzo. They were trying to bring Westerns back. Him and Enzo Castellari.
So it's a later like Western.
It's a 76 Western. So
okay.
Like from what I understand though, everybody that's seen it fucking loves it. So I need to see it for sure.
Yeah.
The mayor says, damn, how many times did David Hess play a rapist?
Yeah, we can say rapist on these streams.
Yeah.
A lot. Certainly in those 3 Terror films that I mentioned. Yeah. But he was so good at playing the fucking bad guy.
He was definitely typecast.
I've always said he should have been a Bond villain or something. He's
Acres of Movies says Duck You Sucker was good. Okay. And so does Fat Pig the Conqueror. Duck You Sucker is a good Western. Used to play on TV here as Fistful of Dynamite. Okay, I've heard of that. Like, that makes more sense. That's the title that I've heard of.
Right. Okay. So. Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to catch up on the chat.
That's all right, man. This fucking film, man. So the opening the soundtrack's from Ennio Morricone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird because it's got this slow kind of banjo playing that don't fucking fit at all with the film. But it really works. I keep saying it.
I dig it.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, just by that tune, instantaneously, if you heard that somewhere, that's fucking Hitchhike. It would just come to you just like that. It's kind of iconic with the film at this point.
I know Hess said that this was his favorite film he ever made.
I was surprised. Yeah, I seen he said that. I was surprised. Yeah. You would always think he would say Last House, but yeah. He had a soft spot for this one, he said, over the others. But he was a big friend of the director as well, didn't he? Got to know him really well.
Well, that's because of Franco Nero. So Franco Nero was on a film in Germany with Hess. Hess had a small role. It's called 21 Hours to Munich. And Hess was like, man, I'd love to work with you. He was talking to Nero. And then Nero got to talking to Pascali, and they needed somebody to play this role, the Adam role.
Yeah.
So then he mentioned Hess, and that's how it happened. So.
I mean, that's started off his kind of career in Italy then, didn't it? Because he did go on and do, like, obviously work for Ridado Diodato a couple of times as well after. What do you think about the opening shot in this film then, where you've got Walter Mancini, and he's out kind of hunting.
Yeah.
But he fucking aims his rifle or this gun on his fucking wife.
He's got his old lady in his scope. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's foreshadowing, I think, what's to come as well, yeah, without giving everything away.
Right.
It's just completely fucking off the wall, that scene, because you think.
But it's odd because then as the film goes on, especially like the clip we just saw, like, like it's kind of confusing in a way. Like, is he hurt because of her, or is probably just his pride's hurt? Like,
I think even this is the way I think of it, right? So before any of this fucking weird, like, crazy shit happens later on in the film, I think that their marriage is on the rocks. Obviously,
he's just a piece of shit.
He's an alcoholic by the looks of it.
He's a piece of shit. He don't care about her. Like, it's obvious he married her for her money.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, she's beautiful, but like that ain't why he married her.
She's stunning. He's just this 2-bit kind of journalist, kind of riding on the coattails of a.
It's funny because it's like like the more I think about the film, though, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. The shit that he's saying to Hess is exactly what he does.
Right? Yeah.
But not as extreme, like killing people and shit. But he's very humiliating toward his old lady and everything, toward his wife.
I mean, he tells her straight up, like the only thing he really wants her for is sex. You know, and he says, "No one fucks like you."
Yeah,
and then she said, "Don't you say, oh, they make love or something in?" But
oh yeah, because they're watching another couple making love or whatever, and she's like, "We just screw." You know,
that's right. Yeah. And you got the whole thing with the camp as well. So to like set the film up, they're on this kind of they're going cross country in this car, and they got like a trailer on the back.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously at each other's throats. They don't particularly get on very well together.
Well, he stays his ass drunk, and she's basically got to do everything. She got to drive and mentioned originally he was supposed to drive.
Yeah.
But he hurt his hand on 21 Hours to Munich, I believe, is when he broke his hand. So they added that to the script, or it was like a few weeks before he hurt his hand.
I think it was on one of the westerns he did because he.
Was it a western?
Yeah.
Okay.
He punched a horse.
Oh, that's right.
This horse wasn't doing.
Yeah, he hit him on the back of the head. That's right.
Yeah, and completely
broke his hand, and so they added that to the script. So there's a part in the film where he trips over somebody's stake for their tent, the rope or whatever, and breaks his hand.
Yeah, and then you've got the infamous line where they're in this kind of camp, and they've got this this whatever he's kind of shot, this stag or whatever it is, kind of cooking on a spit, and then he mentions the iconic line about his wife would love to have the spit up her ass. Like, it's just so funny. Right. That's where like there is comedy in this, you know.
Right.
But she's not afraid to go naked in this film either.
No,
Corinne Clary.
Yeah, she actually said she's like an animal when she works. She looks at being naked as her costume. I don't ask a lot of questions, just react like everyday life. I don't come from the actor's studio. My reactions come from within. So in that scene, she's actually having sex with David Hess. Like, she told him to do whatever he wants.
And he couldn't believe his fucking luck, I bet, when she said
he was just like, what? This is real? Like, fucking, like, you know, it's kind of crazy, but yeah.
Which he did the same, didn't he, with Annie Bell in Haste on the Edge of the Park as well? Yeah. Very, very similar. Because he mentions that...
She said that Franco, Nero, and Hess were both uncomfortable with that scene. Like, she wasn't as uncomfortable as they were about it.
They even covered her up, didn't they? Like, covered up her naked body after she played that scene. Yeah, but you've got that with the same track as well. So at this camp early on, you've got the hippies and they're singing that song. It's kind of like a Charles Manson type song.
It is kind of, I guess so.
It does. It gets in your head if you've listened to it for more than once. Like,
and he's like just rolling his eyes. He's like, "What the fuck ever," you know. But
yeah. But obviously, you know, after they stop at this camp for the night, the next day they travel and they kind of run into this hitchhiker, Adam Kunitz.
And it's funny because even though Walter's such a piece of shit, at least his instinct kicks in. He's like, no, don't pick that fucking guy up. And she's like, no, fuck it, we're going to pick him up kind of shit. You know, like.
Right, yeah.
That part of it's kind of, you know.
But there's no even mystery early on to this because as they pick him up, we see that he's just killed this fucking guy in this car. So we know he's a fucking murderer.
Straight away, it shows a bullet hole in the dude's head. And,
yeah.
He's all playing Mr. Nice Guy and shit until conversations start brewing. He's saying, what does he say?
Do you want, I wouldn't mind you, because you got it in the clip about his wife.
Yeah, it's in my clip. So he's talking about her, like, sucking him off or whatever. And
the fucking dialogue between Hess Franco Nero's character is just all the way through. It's like something out of fucking Tarantino. It is superb, their dialogue, the way they like completely like back and forth with each other. And then he says that one line, Hess, didn't he, about I want your wife to suck my cock, and that completely fucking, he ends up like, I think he's like fucking punches him, doesn't he? And
he elbows him. He uses the mirror and shit. But you see it on Franco Nero. He's like laughing and shit, you know.
Yeah. But they were fighting for real, you know. When they
he headbutted Hess, and Hess claimed that he broke his nose, but Franco Nero was like, he's exaggerating, and then
played it down a bit, didn't he?
And then Hess said, "Well, he's lucky because Hess was saying Nero was lucky because he had calmed down quite a bit then, because he would have beat him up or whatever." Like, but
I
Nero,
completely believe that as well.
and then Nero's like, yeah, whatever, you know. I don't know how that would have went, to be honest. So.
Oh no, I would have put my money on Hess just for the size alone. But yeah, so they're traveling along and all this shit starts to happen. You know, they get I think there's news breaks out on the radio as well about this robbery that's gone on with 4 hold-up men, and a policeman was killed. And then things just start to get fucking wacky and wackier as things go on. It just
this film did really good around the world, except for America. Like it wasn't here in America.
No, Hess was surprised. Like he said he didn't know why it wasn't released in America.
It was like big in Europe and I think in Asia, but not in America for whatever reason.
Even now though, it doesn't get mentioned in the like. This should be mentioned with the likes of like Last House and House on the Edge of the Park. Yeah. But it's not. I don't know why. This is as good. Like maybe not as good as them, but not far off, like I said earlier. But with this one as well, so as it gets more and more wackier, we find out that he's got these $2 million in this suitcase. And he starts even bargaining with fucking Mancini then, doesn't he? About, you could become my writer. We could write a book. I would pay you $100,000.
Yeah, you'd be the reporter and write a book about it. And
yeah,
he's like telling him there's got to be sex in it though. So he's like talking about having sex with his wife and shit.
Right.
Like,
so yeah. So 1 minute he's kind of holding out his hand to like fucking, you know, be a friend and what have you. And next thing he's telling him he wants to fuck his wife. Yeah. It's just so bizarre. And
but he escaped the mental institution. I mean, you know.
Yeah, which we don't know at the time, but
for the criminally insane.
Later on. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. I think the police stopped them at one point when Mancini tries to put, or Walter, you know, if I want to say another name, but he tries to say SOS on the match case. But I think the policeman doesn't see it. And then fucking Kuntz just fucking shoots these 2 policemen just fucking right there and then. And you've seen the clip, didn't you, with the head fucking exploding.
That's great. That's a great setup, like how it kicks it off, you know.
We'll go to a certain part of this, but I don't want to give away the fucking twist ending, which is fucking brilliant.
Go to
the twist ending is fucking worth watching alone, I would say, for this. But all the build up and everything is superb as well. So yeah, like you say, that hippie song, by the way, is called Let's Fly, and it's just fucking, I don't know, I can't get it out of my head now just thinking about it.
It's just, I forgot about it.
Yeah. It's it's really weird, but at one point then, you know, and I mean we can say about this part, I think. So they stop off, don't they, in this kind of, they stop off for the night. You've got the whole scene where Hess is like literally tied up fucking Mancini. And we think that he's about to like get it on with his wife and all that. But then you hear this fucking shotgun or shot go off and fucking Hess just fucking falls into this river and you're thinking that's him, he's gone.
Yeah.
And we find out that his two accomplices have been following him, ready, you know, to
it's like he's like took the money for himself, right? And just got away.
How do you feel about that? Because that is one part of the plot that it's hard to fucking believe that he would just come back after that. Do you know, or what do you think? Or did they?
I think he jumped. I don't think he got shot. I think
I was going to say, did they miss him and he just jumped?
I think they missed and he just jumped in there. You know,
right, which would make a lot more sense,
right?
Because he does, and again, we'll go up to a certain point because he does show up again. Otherwise, you know, this wouldn't be a Hess film without him showing up again. In terms of the character of Mancini, I know you've seen the interviews where Hess says Walter's character was kind of almost like a homosexual, or he had kind of homosexual tendencies. I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't feel that way either. Yeah.
No, but he did say that. I don't know whether he was just saying that in an interview to maybe
I don't know.
Have a laugh.
I don't know what that's about.
But they were like you say.
But that did come up where she's basically saying that about both of them, right?
Yeah.
And that's basically when he rapes her. That's
what I'm saying. It completely turns on his fucking head, the whole film, where he rapes her, he gets complete control. He actually didn't he like drive him? Does he drive him off the road before then? And then he rapes her, I think.
Yeah,
because he comes back, then and he pretty much just fucking finds this what would you call it? Just like a truck, and it
looks like because I was reading something like a critic had said they shit on this movie big time, by the way, and they said it was like
oh shit.
They said that it basically ripped off Duel, the Steven Spielberg film.
Okay,
with that big truck, you know, that big red diesel truck, whatever it is. But yeah, that's after that, where he.
I mean, you could say Rabid Dogs as well. Like was before this, like a year before, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of got that element, you know.
Rabid Dogs was 74, right?
74, yeah. Oh yeah, so it would have been 3 years. 3 years before this. But yeah, this film gets fucking wilder and wilder as it goes on. I love the twist. We're not gonna say what it is, but I fucking loved it.
You don't see it coming.
Like,
you definitely don't see that coming. And it's like pretty like holy shit, man. You don't, it's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna say nothing else about it.
But you've got the homosexual element as well of the two fucking accomplices.
Right.
And we find out that they're actually having some kind of a homosexual affair because David Hess, as he kills them, he fucking drives off the edge of a cliff and he shouts out, "You fucking faggots," or something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they are talking about, having homosexual relationship. And I think the one's got like a family or he's got like a child. But they plan to run away together with this $2 million. So that comes up a lot with, I think the homosexual element maybe was something to do with the directors bringing that into the storyline.
I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
But did you read it or did you see as well that Franco Nero, right, would play cards with the director? And they would go on a lunch break.
They go on a lunch break. They took 10 minutes for lunch. And 50 minutes they played cards, right? The whole.
And he's kind of that was like they religiously done that every day on set as well.
And he demanded a lot from Corinne, but I mean, so she sounds like I don't know, man. Like she just she said Hess said he's the one who had the problem with the rape scene, and she said she was anxious, but told Hess to do what he wants. She played it like if she fought, it would be worse. So that's why the character's playing it that way, right? So it was real sex with her and Hess. She said she liked him and he liked her, and he was very sweet. It was real. I was like, holy shit.
The thing is, what's so disturbing about that rape scene as well? Like at first she plays it kind of cold and she's looking away.
Yeah.
And then she fucking starts to fucking really enjoy it. And all the time fucking her husband is watching
Franco Nero, Walter.
Yeah, he starts crying and shit. And
yeah, he's having to watch that shit. Man.
Yeah. You got the whole story as well, the backstory with Hess. He was actually brought up in a decent kind of his childhood was pretty decent, but his father was so fucking mean with his money because he wanted that fucking money to buy a football, and he said he had to fucking save up, rather than, because he said his dad was a pussy as well. He had $20 overpaid in his wage packet, and he actually give it back to the company, and that hurt Hess as well. So we've got a backstory of that. But yeah, I mean, Chlorine Kelly is fucking underrated as an actress.
She really is.
She is fucking superb in this.
She's probably the strength of the film.
Yeah.
When you say, I mean, you got Franco, Nero, and David Hess, but she's like the anchor of the film, man. Like,
I think Nero,
especially what her character does.
Yeah. I think Nero and her, a 10 out of 10, like performance wise. Yeah, I think Hess is not needed to do that much really. From what he does play that kind of character well. Yeah. But I think them two. I think she's a surprise of the film. She is fucking just so cold. She looks so cold as well, man. But she's got this beautiful fucking persona, like stunning looking woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an incredible performance, I would say. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Yeah. Really did. All three of these, for sure. Hitchhike, man. I give Hitchhike. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm the same. I would say an 8.5, maybe.
Okay.
I was pushed. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's close to A Quiet Place in the country, I would say. But I would say, obviously, The Third Eye is the last for me. So if I had to rank them, it'd be A Quiet Place in the Country, Hitchhike, and then.
Yeah, for me too, for sure. Yeah. Let me catch the chat right quick.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Acres of Movies says, "Are you familiar with red pasta? They may have a different name in English. Basically, they were westerns made around Milan that were exported to red markets in the USSR and other countries, and many are lost." No,
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that. No, for sure.
But
I'm not. I gotta like. That's a soft spot for me, like the westerns, and I know I've seen a lot of Leon, like the dollars and all that, but it's definitely a soft spot. Weak
that's
spot.
Definitely more Dirk's thing, the westerns.
Yeah. Acres of Movies says, also have you heard of the Giallo, The Pelican Eats Your Eyes? An Italian professor switches to LSU to teach, but starts a cult where the male leaders are sacrificed on bays and pelicans eat their eyes. Damn, LSU, is right here in my backyard, right? And
is that real? Or is she just playing?
I'm assuming that's real, but like
I've
LSU,
never heard of that one.
I'm in Louisiana, so the pelican is a state bird. Crazy.
Well, have to let me know if there's another name for that.
Yeah, there's got to be another name. I'll look it up later to see what's up. But
because I pretty much thought I knew every Giallo ever existed, but I've never heard that one.
Yeah, Pelican Eats Your Eyes. I have to check it out. Let's see. You got Russell in here. Hey, Dirk and Darren, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Duck You Sucker with James Colburn. Okay, yeah, getting a lot of love for Duck You Sucker.
We'll definitely have to do like an Antonioni or Visconti or something. We'll have to do one of them.
That's Sergio Leone.
Yeah, but I know I know he's a Western guy, but we'll have to do some of the top. That's what I'm trying to say. Some of the top, Italian directors that we've never done before. Capucci would be another one, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying we got to do the top Westerns in Italian.
No, I mean some of the stuff like. No, definitely not Westerns. But Antonioni and people like that.
Acres of Movies says USA art house cinema chain of the 60s through 80s was a loosely connected chain unless the right people were known from distribution festivals. It was impossible to get into Bijou. If not there, nowhere. Okay.
I think I've heard of that chain.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
Let's see. Everybody's saying, hey, fistful of dynamite, a.k.a. Duck You Sucker. Yep. Let's see. Zorro. The gay Blade is funny. He was Zorro's gay brother. Yeah, I remember seeing that shit back in the day. I remember that movie. Russell George Hamilton. Yep, played the character. Yep. And Russell says, big fan of westerns. Awesome. Hell yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, shit. We got that's 2 weeks in a row. We basically covered 6 Franco Nero films, 2 weeks. So
yeah, and they were all, they all got their moments, haven't they? Even the lesser known ones, even I would say the Third Eye was probably the worst of
it's
the
probably
6,
the weakest. I'm still glad I've seen it. I'm still glad I have it in the collection. And yeah,
it's always good to like have it as a companion piece anyway to Beyond the Darkness. So
I still like The Witch. Still need to see the other 2 films out of that set, but The Witch.
Yeah, the Blanchfield Monster is one of them, isn't it? Yeah,
and Lady Morgan, right?
That's right. Yeah. We need to. We'll
We'll
definitely
catch
watch
them. We'll get them eventually. We're kind of doing them, pairing them with other films. Let's see. Texas says Big Audio Dynamite used some samples from Duck You Sucker. I figured you might be familiar with that, Darren.
Okay, yeah. I've heard of them. Big Audio Dynamite.
Okay. What have you guys picked up recently? We're gonna be doing an update video.
I've got fucking tons.
I got a lot of shit that I haven't done an update video in like months. So we got to do something at some point.
I want to do that pretty soon as well because I want to get them back on my shelf.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I did just get Alice Sweet Alice, the 4K from Arrow. That's
Shit, I need to order that.
That's the most recent thing that I got. Let's see. Russell says there are 2 types of pain that hurts and pain that changes you forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. James says, James Van Duzen says, Once Upon a Time in the West was a good Sergio film. And I think
that was
Argento wrote that, right?
He wrote that one, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Aker says, thanks and great show host. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, cheers. Thanks.
Lady, my bad. Appreciate you, ma'am. How about that? There you go.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. It's been cool. Hopefully, like, if when this ends, if y'all wouldn't mind, drop a comment and let us know. I just kind of want to get some feedback, some feels out there. Are the clips too long? Is the intro too long? Any of that kind of stuff. I'll try to take everything into account.
Definitely let us know what you like about the streams and what you dislike as well. And we won't take any offense in what you say.
Or let us know your favorite Franco Nero.
Yeah. We'll take everything on board. If you've got any suggestions for future shows, I know we're probably booked for the next couple of months, but after that, definitely like any guests that want to come on, just let us know.
And speaking of which, next week we'll be doing the Euro Crypt on Dead Pit.
Yeah.
And here, simulcast. And we're going to have Synth Addict on. We're going to be covering Demons 1, 2, and 3. Well, you say 3? I'll say, the church. The church.
I thought you was going to say the Olga then, or...
No.
Yeah.
We're going to do the church, Michele Suave.
Right. So. Yeah, that should be a fun one, man. Yeah, love those films.
Justin says, these are great streams. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
Great show tonight, gentlemen. Always appreciate all the...
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, even like anything, man, there's something we need to work on. Let us know.
Anything negative, just let us know. Like you say, we won't take it to heart or anything.
Hell
no.
We
want to get better, don't we? We want to try and produce.
We just want to do the best. Yeah. We can do. Let's see. Great stream as usual, guys. Appreciate you, man.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
I like that you guys talk about films that aren't cliche. Yeah, man.
We try to.
We're trying to get on some stuff that a lot of people don't know about. and also exploring myself a lot of this shit, man. So
yeah, we're learning.
Yeah,
we're learning as we go as well.
Right. And Russell says, "Good night, friends, till the end."
And you, man, have a good one.
Appreciate you, man. That will be just as epic as tonight. I appreciate you, Tex.
Yeah, cheers, Tex.
Acres of Movies, great streams. Fun to see these movies of my heritage discussed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's nice for all the comments as well. All you guys like make these streams so enjoyable to do.
Hell yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess we're going to get out of here, man. Like I said, if y'all don't mind, drop a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't done that. If you like what's going on, no pressure. But we're going to get out of here, man. And y'all have a good week coming up.
Yeah. So, have a good one. Mace just said good night as well. Have
good
a
night,
good
Mary.
one.
Good to see you, man. As always. Take care, everyone.
See you all next week, guys.
We're out of here.
Sicilian thing that's been going on for 2,000 years.